Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Awesome Sunday Show. Connor back again.
And Pat here too.
So, Pat, a trailer has just been released. Not another Captain America Civil War trailer, but a new Marvel movie that comes out in November. What is that movie?
It is Doctor Strange, and
Not Doctor Strangelove or How I Stopped Worrying and Learning to Love the Bomb.
but
famous
Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
a not well known character from Marvel, but a very popular character with those who have known him.
yeah, fan favorite.
Yeah, a fan favorite. There you go. Yeah, they just released. It's a teaser trailer, but it's like a minute and a half or something
It's
like
2
that.
minutes. It's 2
a
minutes
pretty
and 3
long
minutes.
teaser
Yeah,
trailer.
2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Which they released like it only just wrapped production like a week, maybe 2 weeks before the trailer came out, which was this past week. So it's like it pretty much finished like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the trailer is impressive even for like that quick turnaround. But I thought the trailer was awesome.
Yeah, I was excited as soon as like Benedict Cumberbatch starts talking and he doesn't have an English accent, he talks like an American.
Yeah, he has an American accent.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's cool.
He kind of sounds like how Hugh Laurie sounds in House.
Yep, exactly. That's almost to a T. Almost to a T. Benedict Cumberbatch sounds a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
But Hugh Laurie, that's a good comparison. But I love I don't want to say Inception because I think Doctor Strange is definitely going to be original in its delivery. I think. Again, I haven't seen the movie, but it reminded me somewhat of Inception as far as like the world bending and the sorcery.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff
world
like
bending,
that.
especially the scene where he like splits the Earths. He kind of splits the Earth. The way that they showed in the that their work is like it's not the multiverse per se, like how DC does it. Even though Marvel has the a multiverse too, it's more like an alternate reality that's all happening at once.
Right.
Which is technically different from the multiverse. But they show a scene in the trailer that it's like they have like 4 realities going on at once in 4 different planes of existence.
Right. That
is very Inception-ish. And then the one scene with Mads Mikkelsen, who's playing the villain, currently unnamed, he distorts reality by just waving his arms, and he goes from like some temple-looking place to a completely different, like almost astral plane.
Yeah.
And probably to a different reality too, which is great because Doctor Strange is a magic-based hero.
Right. Yeah. It's very different from normal. Marvel is very science fiction-y when it comes to their superpowers, except for Thor and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Doctor Strange is very mystical. A whole bunch of mysticism, which is really going to be the first time we actually see mysticism in the MCU, even though they kind of mention it in Daredevil season 2, but they don't actually display that.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange is definitely going to do that, and it's going to be very different from anything we've ever seen. As far as comic book movies go, and that's because Doctor Strange is a very different type of character, which is great. And it's got a really great cast. It's got Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange. Excellent casting. We got, I'm going to probably say this wrong, Chiwetel Ejiofor as Carl Mordo. Rachel McAdams, we don't really have her name right now, but she's going to be Night Nurse, like the Night Nurse instead of Rosario Dawson in the Netflix series. Michael Stahlberg as Nicodemus West, and we got Mads Mikkelsen, like I said, as a currently unnamed villain. Odds are he's going to be either because I can't tell in the trailer who he is. He doesn't really look like any one particular Doctor Strange villain, but odds are he's either Dormammu, using like a human type of disguise or whatever.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Nightmare, or Mephisto again, like being portrayed using a human vessel, or Blackheart. Yeah, like those are his most popular villains, I guess. But Mads Mikkelsen as a villain is great choice. He's a terrific actor, but he's at his best when playing a villain. Like in Casino Royale, he was the main villain of that. He killed it. And on Hannibal, the TV show, again a villain. He's also going to be in Star Wars Rogue One the month after Doctor Strange comes out, but we don't know on what side. But I hope, if he's Dormammu, well, I hope regardless that he's not like a one and done villain that Marvel has the tendency to do so far.
With like Red Skull.
Like, I want them to come back, especially if he's Dormammu or Mephisto. They set him up like they did with Loki, like he's going to be a repeat villain, and it's going to be good if he's one of those two characters. He's going to be a good follow-up to Thanos, because both of those characters are crazy powerful, if not more powerful than Thanos, which is going to be awesome. And then we got...
I just think it's going to be funny, like how in Infinity War, you're going to have like Robert Downey Jr., Benedict Cumberbatch, like
two Sherlock Holmes.
Or yeah, exactly. It's just, and then but other major actors too, like shooting fireballs at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's going to be crazy to see him on screen with like other heroes.
Yeah, when they announced Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's a terrific actor. But that's really good. And I mean, like how you said with him and Robert Downey Jr., it's funny because they both play Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Although
Benedict Cumberbatch did play a better one.
Yeah. I mean, it was a better written.
Although I do like the first Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie.
It is really good. But yeah, they take place in different time periods, so like there's disadvantages and advantages to that.
Yeah.
And then we got Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, who is like probably in that position you're other than Sorcerer Supreme, you're like the strongest magical user, pretty much. Like you earn that role by being such an advanced user of mysticism and magic. And I think Tilda Swinton, I mean, this was kind of controversial because a lot of people wanted an Asian actor or Asian American actor for that, which I get because it part of this movie is going to take place in Tibet, and the Ancient One typically has been an Asian person before.
Yeah, but we also haven't seen the movie. Like the ones before her could have been Asian. She could have been the first white one. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But she's a very good actress because she's kind of like Gary Oldman. She really blends into the role.
Yes, that's a good comparison.
So she's like that. Now, obviously, she's going to be great because she's a terrific actress. And one of my favorite scenes from the trailer is when Strange comes up to her and is like, show me the way. She's like, I see such greatness in you, and then she hits him so hard that he gets an astral projection out of it, like almost his spirit leaves his body.
And when he sees it, he's like surprised.
He's like, holy shit! And then like you see a lot of some mysticism going on in the trailer. Not a whole bunch, but like that's one of the things. And like an astral projection, Strange uses a lot throughout his history. Doctor Strange overall, like his arcs and his comic book, and especially his art, is like pretty trippy.
Yeah.
Especially his early works, like when he was first created. Some of the artwork for that is like looks like somebody did it while they were on acid.
Exactly.
Which actually like worked out so well. And then at the end of the trailer, we see him in his like typical comic costume, uniform, whatever, as the Sorcerer Supreme, making him the strongest magic user on Earth and like any realm, or strongest non-evil magic user, I should say. In the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is like almost an invisible safe house in the middle of Manhattan. Like it's like no normal person could see it, and pretty much the only people who could see it are magic users and people who Doctor Strange like reveals it to.
Right.
Like none of the Avengers would be able to see it unless he shows it to them.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah, which is cool. And like he has this one a strong amount of his power comes from the Eye of Agamotto. I think I might have said that wrong, but it's like this crazy magical artifact. Right. It's this crazy like this artifact that has crazy magical properties. It's almost, the rumor is that it's probably going to be an Infinity Stone in the movie. I don't want them to, because the Eye of Agamotto is like itself in the comics normally, and like in an animated movie of Doctor Strange, is just an ancient mystical artifact that holds a lot of power. I could see why they would use it as an Infinity Stone.
It would fit in the universe.
It would fit. It's probably going to be the Reality Stone, given how they mess with reality. Doctor Strange tends to do that, but I kind of don't really want them to.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think they're going to, because, like, the Cosmic Cube isn't an Infinity Stone, but it's called the Tesseract in...
But it has the Space Stone in it.
It has a Space Stone in it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But there's been, different cosmic cubes
throughout the Marvel
universe.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. But and again, it's just to progress the story. I don't mind if they do that.
I would rather them not. I'm not saying I'm going to be upset if they do. I would just rather them not. But I have a feeling that that's going to be true, and we will see another Infinity Stone in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And I'd be surprised if we didn't see one. Because, the Infinity Stones are kind of like mystical properties to them, almost.
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll see it. If not, we'll see it in a, post-credit sequence.
Which I'm excited for. I get excited for the post-credit sequences in Marvel.
Yeah, for that one, they're probably going to do, the next movie would be...
Ragnarok?
I think it's Guardians.
After
Doctor Strange in May. I could be wrong, but I think Ragnarok's definitely going to have an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, Thor usually shows those, like...
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Given,
even though they're the weakest movies.
So far, I'm hoping that Ragnarok is, like, head and shoulders above the last two. Even though The Dark World was a big improvement over the first one.
Yeah.
And it's not that the Thor movies are terrible. They're just not great.
Yeah, they're not great, yeah. They're a part of a bigger universe, though.
Yes. Yeah, that's what serves them. That's the reason. But Doctor Strange, I think, is going to be the most interesting Marvel movie they've ever released up to that point.
Yep. If Ant-Man didn't succeed, I don't think this movie would be going forward. Or at least not in the way that it's going right now.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, something that's probably going to appear in Doctor Strange was in Ant-Man when he goes into the quantum realm.
Oh.
When he shrinks so much that he kind of like is in a plane of like be smaller than atoms or whatever. I think something like that's probably going to get touched on in Doctor Strange, because it would fit within the mysticism and the reality warping.
Yeah.
But I think Doctor Strange is probably its most ambitious and different movie. And, people can complain. One thing people say about Marvel movies, like, they're all the same. That's not true.
No.
At all. There's some similarities between them, but that they're not all the same. But this one is going to be the most unique one.
Yep. Yeah, I
Easily.
agree. It's definitely the most out there, and that's coming from a studio that made Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But Guardians of the Galaxy is still a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
So those make money for the most part. This is a movie about a sorcerer.
Yeah.
And if you look at sorcerer movies in the past, not talking about a Marvel movie in general overall, which is, they're successful because they're Marvel movies,
right,
and people trust the name. Because critically, they've never released a bomb.
Right.
And financially either. So, at least from Marvel Studios standpoint, not Marvel Comics overall.
Yeah.
This is definitely I think their most different movie.
Easily. It's going to be very out there, but it looks like it's going to be pretty great. Especially with a cast like that, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. Same.
And you only got a teaser so far. Looking forward to more.
Probably in a couple months we'll get another trailer.
Yeah, probably in a couple of months. It's going to be mentioned most likely on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. always mentions stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's really all we know for right now. We don't know how some of the characters are going to fit. Baron Mordo becomes a villain in the comics pretty early on. He becomes like Doctor Strange's rival. We don't know if he's going to stay good this whole movie or turn evil during it. at the end. We
Mm-hmm.
still don't know who Mads Mikkelsen is. So we'll talk about this again at a later point, but that's what we got for right
Yeah,
now.
the more Doctor Strange news we have, you'll be hearing it here first.
But definitely check out that trailer. I've watched it a bunch of times. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm really looking forward to it. If Civil War wasn't coming out in 3 weeks, I would be
Civil War.
Doctor Strange would be the
Yeah.
movie I'm most excited for. But Civil War is like so soon and
It's gonna be so
gonna be
good.
so fucking amazing.
The pre-reviews.
The reviews right now, it's the complete opposite of Batman vs Superman.
Yep.
And that's both critically and fan wise, because so far a lot of critics have seen it and have praised the shit out of it.
Some people it's the general consensus is it's either really good, not as good as Winter Soldier, and really good, better than Winter Soldier.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's the best Marvel movie ever made, and one of the best superhero movies ever.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited to see it.
Right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like a 95, 96% with an average critic rating of like 8.8,
That's awesome.
which is really awesome.
That's really good. That's better than most Academy Award winning
yeah.
movies.
So get excited for that. I know I am. I know Connor is. We're going to
Yeah.
see that. For the
I'm
quote
seeing-
unquote
yeah.
midnight showing.
I will
see it a few
I will
times.
call out of life to see that
Yeah.
movie.
So just look out for that. Check all that stuff out. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Less Than Connor
At Rick Pat Mick. The show is at Awesome Sun Show
on Twitter.
on Twitter. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Do all that good shit.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Bend your dick in her cumber snatch. That wasn't that good, actually.
No, actually, I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm honest with your jokes.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for listening to this short episode. See ya.
Peace.